The grotto is what kills me, man. Grotto, really? Come on, I'm taller than 5 foot. Grotto? See, I think you're saying that shit just to get to me. That's it. I'm walking out. Call me Grotto. It's bad enough to call me Kevin Owens. Grotto? I don't think so. Anyways, where was I before I was so rudely interrupted? What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday. You know what that means? We're talking wrestling. I hope everyone's having a terrific Tuesday. Why does it say Why is it 18 or older? I don't want it to be 18 or older. What's up, Jose? I mean, I guess maybe that's for the best. Maybe it's for the best. No kids. Fuck them kids. What's up, everybody? My name is JCal. Post 5 videos? Done. What's going on, Keith? What's up, everybody? We are streaming live. We are on the TikTok app right now. Not much, man. I got myself a nice little haircut yesterday, and we're going to be talking some wrestling today right here on the TikTok app. We're also on YouTube for those of you who are keeping score at home. Thanks, Keith. Appreciate that. Send me your I can't read your font writing. IV4N plays. Send me the video that you took. I'd like to see it. Bobby Roode is a new one. I saw Bobby Roode last night and I thought, man, he looks old. Thanks, Noah. I appreciate the Bobby Roode reference in 2026. He was at the AJ ceremony. I don't understand. Like, they showed all those guys like Frankie Kazarian and Jose said the live stream starts to a little different now. People change to 18 plus. Thanks for the rose, Dad nerd. I don't know how to change it. I don't know how to change the privacy settings. I didn't mean to set it on the 18 plus, but evidently that's what it is. Yeah, opinions on AJ being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'm for it, man. I think AJ is great. AJ is historically going to be one of the greatest wrestlers of our generation because he didn't just do it in the WWE. He reinvented himself. Oh, thanks for the heart, man. I appreciate you, Haley. Hey, why did I say it like Haley? I sounded like an old man. Getting back to AJ Styles, I really do feel like he is going to go down as one of the legendary athletes, performers, wrestlers of this time and space because he didn't just do it in one spot, right? Like if he did this all in TNA and then came to the WWE, you'd be like, oh, well, it's, he just did it in TNA and WWE. He did it on 3 very different brands. And when he did it in TNA, he did it at a time where nobody else was doing it, And then for him to take that TNA time and then go to New Japan, I mean, that's huge. Thank you so much, Haley. I appreciate you. I feel like it's a great person to be in the Hall of Fame. Hey, Bobby, what's going on? Lily, Nora, hi, everyone. Thanks for liking and subscribing. I appreciate that. Let me see. I'm not against it, but why is he not in a TNA Hall of Fame before WWE? Keith, the striking while the iron is hot, the WWE had that opportunity to do it first. You wanted an Abyss and Root entrance. I did too. I wanted to see them come out. Like, I don't know what the point of having all those TNA guys there, New Japan guys. They didn't even put them on TV. Just popping up to say, as you come into my FYP, I had to scroll. Pam, it happens more than you think. It happens quite a bit, actually. That's why I have to call the channel I'm Not Kevin Owens. I don't want to give anyone false hope. Hey, Bobby, thanks for liking the video. Appreciate you. Now, AJ in the Hall of Fame, I don't see Cena being inducted. For me, they're both headliners. Yeah, I mean, the way I see it is at some point, Cena will go in, but I feel like they're striking while the iron is hot because, I mean, look, there's so many people who are not satisfied with the retirement angle for AJ. They still wanted more, and there's still people who are expecting him to go to AEW. I don't see it. I don't, but it could happen. But just I don't know, man. Like the WWE is doing all of this for him, and he said like he wants to be a stay-at-home dad. He wants to be with his kids. Like I don't blame him for that. Uh, thanks Snoopy. I guess Kyle O'Reilly might come back to the WWE. That would be interesting. I don't know where he fits in. Every time I look at someone from AEW coming to the WWE, I'm like, well, how do they fit in? Kyle O'Reilly was a mid-card at best while he was in the WWE. I don't think he even had much success outside of NXT. I don't see how him coming back would do much for them, you know? Adam Cole versus Braun Breaker. Do you want to see Adam Cole die? Do you want to see a dead body? Can you say that on TikTok? I don't want to get banned or anything. But yeah, I'm excited to see AJ go into the Hall of Fame. I feel like that was inevitable and actually happened so much sooner than I thought any of us were expecting. Let's see. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Where is my alert? That's what I wanted. Why doesn't that show up? Oh, well. Let's see. Moxley to the WWE. Again, I just don't think it's going to be Moxley. I don't think Moxley has any desire to come back, right? Because, you know, Dean Ambrose had a pretty good run in the WWE, but Moxley is like a god for AEW. He's one of the pillars. He's holding up that brand. He alone has been very consistent about being a representation for AEW. He's like, what, a 3-time world champion now and a Continental champion. I don't see him leaving to come to the WWE to take a pay cut, to work like a more different schedule, right? And then on top of all that, like, where does he fit into the title picture? If you were to bump somebody, would he replace Drew right now as world undisputed champion? Does he replace Punk as the world heavyweight champion? The answer to that, to both of those, is no. So why would he come to take less money, work more dates, and have less privilege than he has now? It doesn't make sense. Zach, Velocity, Danhausen in the crate. I think you're right. I saw someone else say it, and it makes the most sense. Like Danhausen could be like a thorn in the side of the general managers of both SmackDown and Raw. He could come out and do silly shit, right? Do silly segments, pop someone, get someone over. I think it'd be fun. I think it's going to happen. Good shot. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Who do I think will answer Brock's open challenge? I think the guy that makes the most sense, like some people will say Obafemi, and I like Obafemi a lot, but I think it's got to be Royce, right? It's got to be Royce. You got to bring in Royce and have a big match. And if him and Brock go toe to toe, that's very much a statement. If Obafemi goes toe to toe with Brock Lesnar, also a statement. But I feel like at some point Brock Lesnar is going to retire. And if Obafemi is in the ring with Brock, it should be to be put over by Brock, not to do the job to Brock. Who do you think will end? Okay, we did that. I just don't see Dean Ambrose ever coming back to the WWE. WWE booking Brock versus LA Knight would be, I don't think it'd be end well for our good pal LA Knight. Yeah, I think Haley's right. Like, why would they do that to LA Knight? The rumored match I heard that I really, really liked was LA Knight versus Logan Paul. And you could even do it as a tag team. You could do Logan Paul and Austin Theory versus LA Knight and Seth. And Seth freaking Rollins. And I think that sets up a very good dynamic where now you have a marquee wrestler in LA Knight. The fans love LA Knight. They hate Logan Paul. And then you bring Seth into it, who's going to come back as a babyface. The fans will be behind Seth and LA Knight. And then Logan Paul could take the fall. You put Austin Theory in there. And that way the vision is still being used at WrestleMania because, of course, with Braun Breaker being hurt and Bronson Reed being out, who knows when we're gonna see them next. I'm going to get to all this in just a minute, but I don't want to neglect the folks over here on YouTube. Bobby says, happy Tuesday. Do you see Anna Jay going to the WWE since AEW hasn't used her in a while? I just don't see anyone leaving AEW at the moment. Like even former NWA Women's World Champion Camille hasn't been used in a while, but I don't think she's going anywhere either. I think it's all of them. I think are going to be where they're at. But Willie, save that Tyrus joke for the second hour because we'll do it then. Appreciate you. Oba versus Brock. I mean, that would be a fun match, but I think it's going to be Royce Keys if I was a betting man. What if Gunther answers and they give Gunther? I mean, look, I want to see Gunther. I do believe Gunther will be the person to retire Brock Lesnar, but they're saying SummerSlam, and I'm okay with it happening at SummerSlam. I mean, it'd be cool to happen at WrestleMania as well, but like you're giving. See, the biggest problem I had with AJ retiring at the Rumble is we could have had one more WrestleMania match, right? So if Brock retires at WrestleMania, which is, I mean, that's the grand stage of them all, right? It's still like that's that you don't have a marquee match for SummerSlam, and I feel like if SummerSlam is going to be 2 nights like it was last year, you definitely want to have. Hey, thanks Penelope. You definitely want to have that marquee matchup, and thanks for the Rose too. We can appreciate you, and thanks for the Go Popular, and Patrick, thank you for the heart. And appreciate that. Dean Ambrose is leaving AEW. I don't think Dean Ambrose is leaving, man. I don't believe that's happening. Oh, cool. The Alliance guys stickers. That's cool. Thank you, Penelope. I'm having a good Tuesday. I hope you are too. Alex Misery's watching over on the other channel. A Biscuit. I knew that was you. I saw you live earlier with a Patrick the Star name, but I was at the gym. I couldn't get on. Brock versus Kevin. Look, if Kevin Owens was healthy, I would love to see Brock versus Kevin. Like who on the roster could take an ass whipping like Kevin Owens? Very few, for sure. Let's see. Thank you for the level 6. Appreciate that. Sincere, what's going on? Hope you're having a good one. Yeah. I think he's going to turn on Solo Sikoa. Samir, who do you think is going to turn on Solo? Who's turning on Solo? We love you, Solo. Are you going to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania? Nobody. Not me. No, sir. It's not looking good for the Vision with Brock now. You mean Braun and Bronson both out? Yeah, that's the breaks, man. I mean, I think it sucks, but that's how it goes sometimes. Tama Tonga, I think. Tama Tonga doesn't need the bloodline. He doesn't need the MTFs. He doesn't need any of that. Tama Tongan, I think, should be one of those guys that's getting pushed towards that U.S. championship. We'll see how that all plays out, though, right? Because as it stands today, that's the problem when you have a wrestling promotion. There's like only so many spots, and I argue there's too many spots right now. But you look at, they have 2 world titles, then the US and Intercontinental, then tag titles for both brands, and then they have the Speed title, and then they have the NXT titles, which is both the NXT World and Tag titles and the North American Championship, and then they have the ID titles and the Evolve titles, and I just feel like there's too much. Like, I feel like if I was in charge, and I'm not, but if I was, I think I would bring back one singular world title. I would make like the Raw title, the Intercontinental, and the SmackDown title, the US title. The North American title would be the NXT title, and all the other championships would be one belt. And then the tag titles, you'd have one tag title to represent all 3 brands, and you'd have the maybe a trios title to represent a different brand, and then you'd have a junior, like a cruiserweight division. Like the Speed title, but meets the X division. I feel like that'd be more fun. That's just my opinion, though. Let's see. Nobody says, I hope you return soon. Thanks. Zach says, how would you book Evil's WWE debut from New Japan? Are we sure that Evil is coming to the WWE? Because it doesn't make sense to me to bring him here. I mean, if I'm Evil, I think I'd be more happy to go to Pro Wrestling Noah. Coming to the WWE, like where? Like what? If I'm a top free agent looking at the roster, where do I fit in the WWE? And if I'm not one of these guys that can step in front of Roman Reigns or step in front of CM Punk or Cody Rhodes, then I don't think it's worth going to the WWE. I think if it's me, I would stay elsewhere. There is something to being a big fish in a little pond. AEW feels crowded. TNA, well, that's a different story now, isn't it? I wouldn't know how to book Evil into the WWE at this point. If I was him, I wouldn't come to the WWE. Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate you saying that. Maxine is weak. Maxine is, first of all, Maxine is learning on the job, which I think is okay. But I think it'd be better if Maxine had spent more time with NXT and properly got ready for the main roster as opposed to how they did it. Tim White got into the WWE Hall of Fame with the Warrior Award. Do you think the WWE will put another referee like an Earl Hebner? That's interesting, Wiccan. I don't know. Perhaps. I mean, the Hebners should be in the Hall of Fame, both of them. Both brothers. Nice try, Kevin. You aren't fooling us. All right, let's see. Evil is the first name to go to the WWE, and then other Japan wrestlers. Wait, huh? We'll get back to that in a minute. What if Braun and Bronson had a change of heart and both come back with Seth going against Heyman? That's possible. Although not likely, but it's possible. I wouldn't hate it. The Box is Danhausen, Arhausen, future tag team champions. Maybe. I like the idea of it being Danhausen if the rumors are true. He's coming. Maybe not even as a regular wrestler, but just as an act for the show. I think it'd be interesting. But I don't see Braun and Bronson changing up their MO. I think that they're definitely Heyman guys, and why would they depart Heyman to join Seth? To me, that doesn't make sense. It'd be interesting. I mean, look, any way they go, as long as it's an interesting storyline, it makes sense. But you gotta be careful with that. It's gotta make sense. Let's see. Most of the theme songs are heavy metal. If I was a WWE wrestler, I'd choose country music for mine. That's fair. I mean, I feel like your entrance theme is maybe the least important thing about your character. If you can get over, your entrance theme is almost not important. Now, a good theme song will help you get over. We've seen it work for lots of talent. I mean, Cody has the fans going, oh, 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 when he comes out, and Seth, the fans sing along to it. A good theme song, I think, can help get you over, but I don't think a bad one would prevent you from getting over. Zach says, is Gargano heading to AEW? I don't think so. I mean, why? Again, like, his wife is working in the WWE. He's getting paid very well. He's given a lot of opportunities. Is he a main event guy? No, he's not. But he's on TV every week. What would he do in AEW? Where being catering? I mean, like, there's pros and cons to all of it, but I don't see Gargano going to AEW as a leap forward in Gargano's career. Joe Mama says, nice try, Kevin Steen. You aren't fooling us. Okay. But stop doing the ankle lock. She's not getting it. She turns the foot in the opposite directions. You're right, Mike Mayhem. Mike Mayhem, a.k.a. WrestleRant, the court gesture of the internet wrestling community, and a great follow. If you guys aren't following WrestleRant, go follow him. Fun content. It's good stuff. Brandon, what's going on? Is Johnny Gargano? No, I don't think Gargano's going anywhere. Do you think WWE wrestlers need to be more careful? I think it's actually the opposite. I think the problem with WWE wrestlers is they're not wrestling enough. I don't think they are having that when they used to wrestle more matches, their body would get more used to the grind. And now they're only wrestling one match a week or maybe two, and I don't think they're getting the right repetition. I think the more they get out there and the more they have these matches, I feel like that's better for them. And the WWE's touring less, which I understand the business principles of it, but in terms of the wrestlers now, these folks who are wrestling, 280 to 300 days a year are now wrestling, 12 times a month, maybe 10 times a month, maybe. Let's see. Jose says, I meant other Japanese wrestlers besides Evil are also rumored to go to the WWE. I haven't heard much about it. To be honest, again, where can, as a performer, whether I'm Japanese, Mexican, American, Switzerland, whatever country I come from, the way I would look at it as, where can I make the biggest impact for my career? How can I make the most money for my family? What elevates my brand the best? Now, for some of them, the answer is the WWE. But like I look at a guy like Naito, and if he were to come to the WWE, in what role, what capacity would he be in? You know, like look what they did to Shinsuke Nakamura. What did they do to Nakamura? Is he in the main event picture? How many world titles has he won? What's his WrestleMania moment? And he was like the god of strong style, right? He was like one of the top guys in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And where is he today? I'm not saying he's not making great money working for the WWE. I'm not saying he isn't having a good time and that he doesn't get over or anything like that. I'm saying his legacy is tarnished because of the WWE. And had he stayed in New Japan, he probably would have been a bigger star than he was going to the WWE. So for me, if I'm a talent, I look at that. Now, if we're talking TNA wrestling, as of right now, I mean, can they pay as much as the WWE? Probably not. But if you're a very talented individual, could you become a bigger star from working in TNA wrestling? Right now, yeah. Think about it. AMC, they're being seen by more and more people every week. The ratings are going up, and an opportunity to showcase who you are could raise your stock. But again, what's your end purpose? Is it money? Is it fame? Is it notoriety? Is it legacy? Like, what is your goal in pro wrestling? And that really determines which route you would take. Because if the WWE is going to pay you the most money, then go to the WWE. It's simple. I still don't think Gargano is going anywhere. Again, like, okay, so he had a great running with Ciampa, but at the same time, like, his wife, he literally works in the WWE. He gets to be on the road with his wife all the time. As much as you like Ciampa, it's not wrestling with your wife. I don't see it anyways. Why does there seem to be an influx of injuries close to WrestleMania last few years? Again, I feel like it's a minimized schedule. I feel like less time out on the road, less repetitions in the ring, and people aren't there yet. They're not getting trained well enough to be. Well, let me take that back. It's not about the training; it's about the opportunities. If these guys are wrestling once a week, they're more likely to be hurt. You need a body in motion stays in motion, and a body in rest stays in rest. That's my thought, anyways. Oh my God, I know you're not Kevin Owens, but you look just like him. Sam, I get that more than you think. Jason Kelsey. I've gotten that once or twice too. I feel like his beard is a lot more bushier than mine, and my eyes are less. You can see my eyeballs a little bit better. Kit Wilson's hype has reminded me of Fandango's hype. I think at this point, I think Kit Wilson has way more positive, what's the word I'm looking for? Steam. He's got steam. I don't think Fandango ever had that. Maybe I have a selective memory, but I don't remember Fandango being over like Kit Wilson. Do you think the vision is done? I don't think the vision is done. I just think that they need to retool what they're doing. What's up, Legend Killer? How are you? Thanks for hanging out with us today. Thank you for all of you being in here in the chat. The masked man is Soto. Maybe. Ringer, I'm doing good, man. Hey, Bearded Wrestler. I know I still owe you a hat, Bearded Wrestler. I haven't forgotten. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but I will. I promise. Hopefully it'll be sooner than later. I think the Good Brothers are working independent shows because they got invited to the WWE. Yeah, look, the Good Brothers are currently your Crash Tag Team Champions. That Crash is the Lucha Libre that Soto and I go and check out not every, but the first Friday of a month. It's not accurate. It's typically Fridays monthly down in Tijuana. I don't know what I said, first Fridays of the month. It's not the first Fridays. Usually like the third Friday of the month. Anyways, the Good Brothers are the tag team champions there. Andrade is the world champion there. And they're actually scheduled to be back in TJ on the 20th. If they're going to still be running, then if you guys heard about what's happening in Mexico right now, it's pretty crazy. The Masked Man is Soto. Well, maybe Snoop, maybe. Brandon says the Masked Man is Gilbert. I mean, again, maybe. Thanks, Mia. Yeah, I've been hitting the gym pretty hard. Today I'm actually a pound lighter than I was last week, so I was happy about that. We're working on it, trying to get strong. Who's gonna fight Brock? I'm gonna throw it out there and say Royce Keys. That's my pick, because I think if they do Obafemi, I think Obafemi and Brock would be good for like Backlash, because I think that's a huge match. And then if Obafemi goes over on Brock, I think that sets him up down the road. Should the vision be done? Brandon, I don't think so. I still think there's a lot to do with the vision. I think there's a lot of positive ways to go with the vision. Brock's going to win. Oba is not winning. Well, I mean, look, if the rumor is, the speculation is that Brock Lesnar is inching towards retirement, and they're saying SummerSlam could be his last match. And if that's the case, if you know that Brock Lesnar is retiring from the sport, Obafemi going over Brock Lesnar establishes him as a dominant heel. He could be a huge monster for the WWE. A loss to Brock Lesnar on the way out does not do a bit of good to Obafemi. And if Brock is leaving, why are we putting him over the future? Like if it's Gunther and Brock at SummerSlam, that's the rumored matchup, then great. That's where we say goodbye to Brock Lesnar. But he doesn't have to win out until SummerSlam. He can do the job for Obafemi, which would help really establish Obafemi as a superstar. You know, Obafemi can keep beating, tag teams in handicap matches or beating up on Kit Wilson, but it doesn't make him a superstar. Beating Brock Lesnar makes him a superstar. Having him beat CM Punk makes him a superstar. Having him beat Cody Rhodes makes him a superstar. I don't feel like that's going to change. Here's a question for you, Jay. Is AJ Styles worthy of a Hall of Fame? Of the NWA Hall of Fame? Absolutely. Chris, absolutely. Without a doubt, AJ Styles is worthy of an NWA Hall of Fame. He's a former multi-time NWA World Tag Team Champion. He's a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. I believe he held the Wild Side title as well. So absolutely, if we're going to talk about that, yeah, I do feel like AJ Styles would slam dunk Hall of Fame for the NWA. How would you rate Joyride Candy? My son loves it because some YouTuber Ryan Trahan, also after attending Pro Wrestling 225, bring it to the NWA roster. I have no idea what Joyride Candy is, Matthew Underwood. I guess I'm not as cool as I thought I was. Heard Nikki Blackheart had a trial with the WWE. In your opinion, what would she bring to the WWE roster? I'm not familiar with Nikki Blackheart. I have to be honest. I don't know much about Nikki Blackheart. Why in the hell are they letting Gunther retire, everybody? Terry, I don't know your age bracket. I apologize if this sounds immature to you. But there's a phrase that the kids are using called aura farming. And it's basically measuring a person's presence. By Gunther retiring, Goldberg, AJ, John Cena, and potentially Goldberg, you have just created probably the biggest heel in the sport of professional wrestling. And he does it with a very old school demeanor and old school charm. He blends pro wrestling from the 50s and 60s and 70s with the storylines of today. There's nobody right now who is on the same level as Gunther. And it only makes him a bigger heel. The more he frustrates the fan base, the more he disappoints the fans, the bigger of a superstar he's going to be. I just think I think it's a smart move, because if these guys are going to retire anyways, let them let them use their fame and their notoriety to help get over somebody like Gunther. And I feel like at this point, like Legend Killer says Roman can beat Gunther. Well, that's the point, man. You're building the next Roman Reigns. You're building the next machine that's going to carry the WWE. When Gunther has eliminated all of your old favorites, you know, Randy Orton, CM Punk, when they've all been retired because Gunther had made them tap out, what are you going to say to Gunther? Nothing. You can't say anything to Gunther. People keep asking about Evil coming to the WWE, but most fans are like, who? Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that Evil, although a big name in Japan, is not really well known outside of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Don says, nah, it's crazy. You look and sound exactly like Kevin Owens. Shout out to you. Hey, Don, if you think I look and sound like Kevin Owens, you should probably just give me a follow, too, while we're at it. I mean, let's put the pleasantries aside. If you think I look like Kevin Owens, and if you think I sound like Kevin Owens, then Kevin Owens says, like, comment, and subscribe. Hey, Foxy, what's going on? How are you? Nikki Blackheart trained with former WWE wrestler Gangrel and wrestled at CCW and MPW. That okay, cool. I don't know much about Nikki Blackheart, and if someone has like matches that you think I should check out or something like that, let me know. I'd be happy to learn more about him. Hey, Don, thanks for the rose too. Appreciate you and the follow. That's a twofer, Don. Thanks. Foxy, how you been? I haven't been able to jump on your lives in a while. Hey, Legend Killer, thanks for sharing the live. I appreciate that. Whew. So I've been talking for about 34 minutes straight, which is great. I love it. I love to hear my own voice. Just kidding. Foxy, good but busy. Yeah, that's been my life the last couple of weeks. It's crazy. Soto and I went down to Tijuana last Friday. Not only did we get the VIP treatment, we got to go backstage. We got to meet a few of the wrestlers. Soto got to talk to Jack Cartwheel. I mean, I did too, but he did majority of the talking. I just kind of was looking around in awe. We also got to hang out for a brief moment with Matt Riddle, with Sonny Kiss, with Ninja Mac, with Nick Nemeth, and it was fun, man. It was so cool. And my favorite part is we got to go down the hallway, and this infamous hallway. If you've ever seen Lucha Libre in Tijuana, in the auditorium, there's a hallway that leads from the locker room to the ringside. And you know, that same hallway is places where like Blue Demon Jr., Rey Mysterio Jr., Perro Aguayo, Ultimo Dragon, Hayabusa. I mean, so many great wrestlers and legends have walked down that hallway, and to be able to just take a second to have my photo and Soto's photos taken there, it was really, really cool, man. It was a once in a lifetime experience. I don't know if I'll ever get to do that again, but it was very thrilling. And then post show, a couple of the guys, one of the referees, Wapo, and Jack Cartwheel and Ninja Mac, we all went out and got tacos. And that was a pretty cool experience too, because tacos and TJ are just better. And for those of you who don't like guacamole, I don't know what to tell you, man, because they put so much guac on that thing. It was amazing. The KO voice. I'm not really doing a KO voice, right? Like, if I sound like him, that's great. But this is just my voice. This is just the way I look. I mean, I get it. We both got beards. We both got gray hair because we're getting old. But I'm not KO. Hey, Sabi! People are talking about the new NXT referee, Victoria De Erico, but I know her from the Behind an Undefeated Boxer. Wiccan, who is Victoria De Erico? When are you and Soto going to wrestle in a tag team match? So, like, it's been fun to hang out with Soto and to do stuff where we got in the ring, but you gotta understand, neither one of us are trained professionals, right? we really don't belong in the ring. The people who have sacrificed for pro wrestling, they're the ones that deserve that time to be in the ring. If someone wants to like have fun and go in the ring and do silly stuff with Soto and I'd be open to it. But I have no desire to actually have a wrestling match because I never trained to be a wrestler, right? And I'm sure I could figure it out, but I think that'd be disrespectful to all the people who've actually ever trained to be a pro wrestler. So in my heart, it's not Soto and I will never wrestle, right? Could we come in and get punched by a wrestler or be security for somebody? Sure, but I don't think I'll ever try to step into a ring in a wrestling capacity. When are you coming back, KO? It's not looking good for Kevin Owens, to be quite honest. Now, I guess the most interesting thing is that Kevin Owens, along with Trish Stratus, replaced The Undertaker and Michelle McCool with the LFG deal. So although we're not seeing Kevin Owens in a wrestling ring, I mean, he'll be coaching on that program. So if you're a Kevin Owens fan, the good news is you get to see him on LFG, and that might lead to him making more non-wrestling appearances for the WWE. But I wouldn't hold my breath. I still think he's got a long road for recovery, and he's not 100%, nor do I expect him to be 100% anytime soon. That neck fusion surgery is a career changer and sometimes a career killer. We saw Adam Copeland, after a decade, finally come back to pro wrestling. We saw Steve Austin take many, many years off before he did anything with wrestling again. It ended the career of Ravishing Rick Rude, ended the career of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. It certainly stalled the career of Owen Hart. Steve Austin, it slowed his role when he injured his neck back in the 90s. I don't think we ever will see Kevin Owens the same way again. Now, could he return to the ring? Yeah, 100%. At some point, I could see him come back to the ring. Will he be the Kevin Owens that we saw doing swantons and diving onto ladders? God, I hope not. I hope not. It's time for him to become full Steve Austin and just punch, kick, body slam. That's it. Let's see. Soto could be involved for one Rey Mysterio matches when he meets him again. Yeah, I think Soto will tell you like he'd love to be more involved in pro wrestling. Yeah, I don't think he wants to wrestle. When are you gonna see Oba again? Hopefully never, legend. I mean, I know that was silly, but like, be honest. If anyone was confronted by Oba Femi, I think like run is the best option. When Steamboat's son injury in the neck, or was it in his back? If you know, if memory serves me, it was his back, but it could have been his neck. I know he had a rough go. Richie Steamboat, he had a ton of potential, and it was sad because Richard Flair, not Richard, Ric Flair's son, whose name I can't think of right now, him and Richie at the same time were, roughly about the same age. And a lot of people thought like that would be the future of pro wrestling, and it didn't happen. I think the WWE needs to put Offset in a match with Logan Paul. What? No, not David Flair, but his other son, his younger son that passed away. Jose, what do you mean? Put Offset in a match with Logan. Who's Offset? Did I miss something? Who's Offset? So I'm meeting MJF in April. I don't know how I'm gonna feel if he tosses my MJF signed figure. Yeah, Zach. I mean, that's Offset. Offset was the guy that came out with Javon. Reed. That's it, Cam. Reed. Correct. Richard Blood was never a good wrestler. Wait, Mofo, are we talking about Richie Steamboat or Ricky Steamboat? Because Ricky Steamboat also is Richard Blood. And you can't tell me that Ricky Steamboat was never a good wrestler. If you don't think Richie was, that's fine. I can't argue with you on that. But no, Reed Flair was the Flair I was thinking of, not David, the son. Okay, that's fair. Mofo Beard 225. That's fair. He was not a complete wrestler. He was obviously still very green. He was one of the early NXT guys, but I feel like he had potential, and a lot of people. I don't think I was the only one to say it, but I think a lot of people expected big things from Reed and Richie, and unfortunately, Reed passed away due to his, his demons, and Richie got injured before he could really get started. One of the former Migo members. I'm sorry, Jose, and I no disrespect to anyone who enjoys that music, but that's over my head. I don't know much about Migo or Offset or any of that stuff, and I don't, nothing wrong with it, just not my cup of tea. With that being said, um, the question was Logan Paul and Offset in a match. I think the rumor is either LA Knight and Seth versus Logan Paul and Austin Theory, or straight up just Logan Paul and LA Knight one-on-one. And I would be okay with both of them. Either way. Jose, it froze? The screen froze, Jose? Who do you think will win Money in the Bank this year? I feel like if you're going to really do something, Money in the Bank this year should go to somebody who we're not expecting. So I'm thinking, like, if Cody is not a part of WrestleMania, then I think Cody would be the guy. If Cody is a part of WrestleMania, in a title match, I should say, then maybe somebody like LA Knight or somebody like a Logan Paul, just because I don't think a lot of people would expect Logan Paul. In my opinion, sir, I will push Kiana James because I think she is outstanding, and I see her in the title picture. Maybe she had a match against Julia. Yeah, I've got no problem whatsoever against Kiana James. In your opinion, Jay, who gets a push? Who gets a solo push first, Kiana James or Lash Legend? I think Kiana James gets the singles push first because I feel like Lash Legend and Nia Jax have a more opportunity as a tag team. I feel like they could go places with that. I feel like Lash and Nia could be a very dominant women's tag team, and I feel like that would be better for the WWE than having Nia Jax and Lash Legend perhaps vying for singles titles. I think as a tag team, I think they're so much more better, more complete. And then putting Kiana James, I know she had a really good look for the qualifying match. She'll be a part of the Elimination Chamber this Saturday. Do you like wrestling too? Yeah, Jimmy, just a little bit. How long could Bronson Reed be out for an injury, a torn bicep? That's tough. I don't know. A torn bicep. I mean, let's see. If I just were to look, torn bicep recovery. Recovery from a torn bicep can range from a few weeks for partial tears to up to a year for complete tears requiring surgery. So if it's not a bad injury, it could be 1 to 2 weeks. Initial rest and immobilization typically lasts 1 to 2 weeks to reduce pain and swelling. But if it's a more extreme, she could be out for a year. It's 4 to 6 months. I mean, that's right through WrestleMania, right through Elimination Chamber. That's past SummerSlam. Backlash, like he misses it all. Did you hear about the Vince McMahon getting arrested? I didn't see him get arrested. I know that he had a car accident and he was going like 115 miles per hour. I didn't know he got arrested, but he should have. He can't be going 115. Kari and Asuka feud and Sol and Zara feud. Which do you see happening first? Probably Sol and Zarya, because I think Sol Ruka will be up on the main roster after WrestleMania. So they'll probably rush that feud a little bit in NXT and get some mileage out of it before Sol jumps to the main roster. At least that's what I see. I could be wrong, Wiccan. Whatever happened to Daniel Bryan? Well, Daniel Bryan ended up taking his name back and going to AEW, where he briefly held the AEW World Championship as the American Dragon Bryan Danielson. He is not able to compete currently, So he is working more as an announcer. But the rumor is, speculation is that he has been under the health, what's the word I'm looking for? Under the care of Adam Copeland's doctor, who's got him feeling so much better. And there's talk that he might be returning to the ring sooner than later. Did you see the body cam of Vince McMahon crashing his car and refusing the medical care? I did see that I saw that on TikTok, actually. If you had a Lambo, how fast would you go? All right, that's a great point, Sean. I'm not saying it's not a good point. I'm just saying, like, it is against the law. If we're just looking at legalities, it's against the law. I mean, look, tell me one of you who does not speed while driving. Raise your hand in the chat if you've never gone faster than the speed limit. I mean, I live in California, and the speed limit on the freeway is posted at 60 or 65. I don't think anyone goes 65 on the freeway. I don't. But I also have a governor on my truck that will prevent me from going 100 miles. But I've been known to go 99. I mean, I think it's crazy to expect somebody not to go as fast as the car that they drive can, but you know, Sean, that does break the legality of it. It's certainly not unrealistic, but it's not a bad thing, but it's not a good thing either. Thanks for all the likes, guys. Thanks for all the gifts. I do appreciate that. In about what is it, 11 minutes, we're going to be talking about the NWA. If you enjoy the National Wrestling Alliance, I encourage you to stick around. If you don't know about the NWA, stick around. You might find something you like. Did you think John Cena deserves all... let me say that again. Do you think John Cena deserves a Hall of Fame award? Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think there's anyone more deserving in the WWE universe than John Cena. John Cena has done a lot for pro wrestling. He's done a lot for the WWE. He carried the WWE in some very lean years. So absolutely, I'm totally good with John Cena getting a Hall of Fame award. Jammin' Music Man, what's going on? I misread that at first, and I thought that said, "What's up, Alliance Blue Chew?" And I thought, well, not yet, but if they want to endorse us, we'll be happy to take that endorsement. Sean, what's going on, Sean? Huge fan? Well, that's cool, man. I like, comment, subscribe, hang out, join the party. Appreciate you hanging out with us. I am very thirsty. Is Cena being inducted? I forget. It doesn't look like he is yet, Sean, which is weird because you would think he'd go in before AJ. But, you know, there's scheduling conflicts. I mean, nothing's been officially reported yet, right? But I do believe that Cena will be in the Hall of Fame at some point. He's just not there yet. Anthony, you're probably right. And Sean, you're also probably right. Anthony says, AJ is the top star. Cena won't be this year. And Sean says, they probably are waiting for next year in Saudi Arabia, which, again, John Cena has proven that he has no problem going to Saudi Arabia for promotional opportunities. And you know, I feel like he gives fans a little bit of a break, though, right? Ask your doctor if Alliance Blue Chew is right for you. Please contact your doctor if the swelling... Never mind. Never mind. Did you guys see this? They made an action figure for me at Dollar Tree. Look at that. Looks just like me, doesn't it? Looks just like me. Why does Kevin Owens have blue eyes? When did Kevin Owens ever have blue eyes? I don't want him to be inducted in Saudi, but if so, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, look, it's at this point in the game, Saudi is financing a lot of what's happening in the World Wrestling Entertainment. So I feel like they're going to get theirs before we get ours. I know people hate Saudi Arabia, but next year going to be star-studded, especially compared to this year. Yeah, I feel like, first of all, I feel like it was a huge misstep to make Vegas the home of WrestleMania back-to-back years. Jose, you see him, huh? Why is one of them taller than the other? I don't understand that. Um, Soto's a good guy. I love Soto. But yeah, I agree with you, Sean. I do feel like when it comes to the WWE, I feel like WrestleMania, um, you know, Saudi is going to be huge. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get look, Cena says he's not coming back. AJ says he's not coming back, but has Undertaker officially retired? Has Steve Austin officially retired? Because I still think it's going to happen. Vegas took it from New Orleans. I was wishing for New Orleans because everything is right there. Yeah, well, I feel like it was the better choice for WWE. I feel like, Vegas has money, but Vegas always has something going on, where New Orleans, this would have been huge for New Orleans. The city would have benefited from it. I think the WWE would have benefited from it. The territories, that the independents would benefit from that, from coming out. New Orleans got way better food. Hold on now. New Orleans doesn't have In-N-Out, Sean Mega. WWE are even paying The Rock for one last match next year in Saudi. I wouldn't be shocked by that either. I would not be shocked by a Rock match, by a Stone Cold match. Hell, I don't think Triple H would allow himself because of health reasons, but Undertaker wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if we got Kane. I feel like Goldberg is out, hopefully. I feel like AJ's probably not, and John Cena's not, but you never know. Money, man. Money makes everything do things. You and Kevin Owens look the same kind of, yeah, I guess. Can Undertaker still wrestle? That's the thing. Can Undertaker wrestle? No, but can he fight? Can he go in there and punch a guy, kick a guy, clothesline a guy, body slam a guy? Sure. It doesn't take a rocket science to do that. I don't think you have to be in the best shape in the world to do a body slam or a suplex. And if it's for one night, you get loaded up on the old painkillers the next day. I think that's what they used to do back in the 80s. Went to Mania 34 in New Orleans. No need for Ubers or anything. Just stay in the French Quarters. Loved it. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool, man. The last time I went to WrestleMania was in Anaheim during the Iron Man match between Shawn and Brett. And that was the last WrestleMania I went to. And even the ones that were nearby, I did not go. And now I kind of regret, because I feel like I can't afford to go now. I'm sure WWE will book the new Saudi guy who appeared at the Rumble for WrestleMania 43. Yeah, probably. First call. You're not the first person to say that. You won't be the last person to say it. I get the Kevin Owens bit. Quite a bunch. AJ in the Hall of Fame before he was crazy work. Z, are you trying to imply that I am Kevin Owens? Z, are you insinuating that I am Kevin Owens? Because my name is J. Cal from TheAllianceBlog. I am not Kevin Owens. I am J. Cal. If the boot fits. First call, thanks. I just got it trimmed up yesterday. I got the haircut yesterday. Feeling pretty good. Hey, what's up, Sage? If you're still here. I thought I heard before the Undertaker has something wrong with his version after being knocked out before by Brock Lesnar. I wouldn't be surprised. If he has vision issues, but I still think if they pay you $1 million to wrestle for 5-10 minutes, are you telling me he wouldn't? The figure you showed looks similar to. I went to Mania in Vegas last year, had a blast, but this year they went up on those prices. Yeah, they went up huge. Those prices went nuts. Money does talk. That's 100%, man. Gotta sell an arm to go to WrestleMania this year. No, Z, it's just a kidney or two. Who needs to drink alcohol? Who cares? I think at this point I'm skinnier than Kevin Owens. I wonder if NWA will ever sell. Oh man, I wish they would. I feel like I'm a big NWA fan. I really did like the idea of what Billy Corgan was going to do for the National Wrestling Alliance. Unfortunately, they're stuck, man. Sean, I don't know if they're going to be doing any wrestling this weekend. what's happening in Mexico is scary and crazy right now. The product is not that good for me to be paying all that. That's right, Z. I agree. Like, look, I don't think any wrestling is worth the prices that the WWE is charging. Any of them. But yeah, as far as what's going on with and what's happening in Mexico, like, I'm glad we got out of TJ on Friday night, because Saturday night everything went to hell, and cars are being burned down, businesses are being burned down. It doesn't sound like they're targeting civilians, but like that could change. NWA should merge with TNA. Let the NWA management take over TNA and keep the brand still going and have crossover show. I would rather have TNA take over the NWA. Sean, I think you did the right thing, canceling your trip to go to Mexico in April. I mean, look, by April it could be fine, but I'm scared, man. I'm scared for the people who live in Mexico. I'm scared for my friends who live in Mexico. It just they're paying $250 to meet Kevin Owens. Why pay $250 to meet Kevin Owens? I get it. Most I'd pay to meet a wrestler's like $50 the most, and that's everybody. Like, I can't pay $250 to meet Kevin Owens. Yeah, and I think it sucks that they're blocking the watch parties as well. WWE is getting still. They need to let Heyman take over. I mean, is Heyman at a point now where he'd want to? Hey, Minx. I'm paying $100 to meet Bray. That's it. I get that. Triple H tape. Oh, see, Sean, that's not a bad idea, actually. Tape in Orlando for the foreseeable future. I mean, it's a way to keep their talent safe and to avoid trouble, for sure. I feel like you don't do anything to the WWE right now until Triple H is not a new era. It's hard, man. Like, as a fan of pro wrestling, I just don't see. I wouldn't do anything with the WWE the way it's operating right now. I think maybe I would reduce ticket prices, and that's about it. I don't see. I feel like the stories are working well enough. People are willing to pay. That's the thing. The market will bear what the market will bear. My two favorite divas. Liv Morgan is killing it right now, and I feel like Natty Neidhart never gets her just time. But we're gonna switch it up now. We're gonna be doing the live stream talking about the NWA. You guys are more than welcome to hang out with us while we do this, but that's what we're gonna do now. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, jump over to the other channel. We're live right now.